So today we're going to learn some shimmies and some hip bumps. Basically, we're focusing in the hips right now. But the first thing that I need to teach you is belly dance posture. So what you want to do is you want to put your feet on the floor, preferably bare feet at this point. Have your feet parallel to each other, so you don't want them pointed out, you don't want them pointed in. Soften your knees. Get a nice little bend in your knee, little bounce. Your pelvis should be in neutral, so you don't want it tucked under and you don't want your butt popping out either. And so just get into kind of a neutral position. Your shoulders should be down, and it's almost like your shoulder blades are going down your back. You want your elbows out to the back and have soft, nice, graceful hands. Fan out your fingers and make it look pretty. And starting with the shimmy, with your bent knees, you want to straighten one knee at a time. So you straighten the knee and then bend it again. Straighten the other knee and bend it again, and keep alternating. Now when you straighten your knee, what you don't want to do is straighten your knee and have your hip go out to the side. You want to keep your body straight. So when you straighten your knee, you bring the hip bone up to meet your rib, right? And then drop it. So you're doing one side at a time, alternating. Okay? So that's your shimmy. Once you get this down, you can pick up the speed a little bit. And just keep practicing it. I know right now it might seem like a little bit difficult or challenging, but the more you practice, the more natural it will become. Also, these hip movements are really good for opening up your sacral and your root chakra. Okay? And so the next one is the hip bump. So basically you want to build momentum on one side, kind of bring all your weight over to one side of your body, have your weight on one foot, one hip, and then the way I remember learning it is just imagine you're holding a child or a bag of groceries and you need to shut the car door and you just thrust your hip. So you're thrusting your hip from one side to the other. Boom. And as you thrust your hip, you bring all the weight onto your other foot. Also, another thing that you can do is when you bring your weight from, say, the right foot to the left, you want to tighten your left butt cheek. And it's okay if it jiggles, it's supposed to jiggle. This is belly dance, not ballet. Okay, now the double hip bump. Same thing, but you do it twice on each side. So you're getting momentum on one side, thrusting your hip over to the other side. Then, without coming back all the way, just come back a little bit and thrust it a second time. So you're doing thrust, 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 bump, 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 bump. So when I get into my first choreography that I always teach my students first, we will do all of these moves. We'll put them all together. So for now, if you can just practice the single hip bumps, the double hip bumps, and the shimmies, we're going to be doing single hip bumps to an 8 count, double hip bumps to an 8 count, and shimmies to an 8 count. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll see you next time. Namaste.